there's going to be a row in between, so we need a foot and a half in between, and then this, like, kind of the step part comes back.
The cool guys.
Yeah.
The referees.
Hey, Sanders. CNL.
You guys, you're going to go left shoulder back. Everyone this way. You're going to go left shoulder back and kind of tuck in between the guy in front of you. Yep. So Felix, you guys are going to go this side. You're going to go right shoulder back. Everyone else, hands to your side. All right, guys, here we go.
The All-Star break is over and out, and for the Baltimore Orioles, 66 games to go as they chase their second straight division title. Tonight, the Orioles open up the second half against the defending champion, the Texas Rangers, here in Arlington.
You know, we didn't play our best going into the All-Star break, losing 5 of 6 or whatever it was. But we knew that our team was good, and we weren't panicking over that rough stretch leading into the All-Star break.
You know, that first half of the season was a lot of mixed emotions. You know, it was really, really high at one point, really, really low at the next. And, you know, I think that over the All-Star break, it just kind of gave me, you know, good time to just kind of reset and reflect. I wasn't in a bad spot, but I definitely could be in a better spot, and I think that just kind of had a healthier mindset going into the second half.
Really coming out of the gate in the very first inning of the second half, it was a tone-setting inning, a tone-setting game, a tone-setting first 2 games, and I was thinking this team needed a break, that they had grinded really hard at the end of the first half. They dealt with a ton of injuries, and this team was ready for a big second half run.
And the trade deadline now just 50 days away. What's the biggest area of need for the Orioles?
They can use as much bullpen help as they can find. The other thing they are monitoring is the starting pitching market.
You kind of start in late May, and for the majority of those 2 months, like 90%, you're just gathering information. You're evaluating your players, your own team, kind of how you see yourself in the standings, how you see yourself going forward. You're evaluating kind of literally every possible player who could be added to the team and the benefit that would bring to the team. So over those 2 months, you're constantly gathering information, and then it all results in this hyperactivity in the last 7 days, 5 days, where no one gets any sleep.
The Phillies making a trade. Austin Hayes from the Orioles, Seranthony Dominguez.
Well, we have some breaking trade news. Orioles acquiring Zach Eflin from the Rays.
Zach Eflin has been a guy that has been really consistent over the past couple of years and done a nice job of being able to limit the walks, doesn't have a lot of guys on base, gets some strikeout, commands the baseball really well. But if you look at the Orioles, they're going to need some type of three-headed monster going late into September, into October. Now you have Corbin Burns, you have Grayson Rodriguez, you add Zach Eflin to that group. They may not even be done after this point.
Things could be fluid here over the next 4 days. The Orioles made 2 trades. The first sent Austin Hayes, popular player, one of the longest tenured Orioles, a fan favorite, to the Phillies for Seranthony Dominguez. And the other trade, which may be even more impactful down the road, Ben, Zach Eflin, starting pitcher from the Rays, who is under contract for next year as well. The Orioles sending 3 minor leaguers to the Rays.
The business side of the game, it stinks sometimes. You know, for us as grown men, it hurts to lose a friend, but at the end of the day, we understand the business, we understand what comes with all of that. I think the hard thing is when you look at you know, the wives have to say goodbye, and then even worse, the kids. You know, the relationship that my 2 boys had with his 2 boys. I mean, they would see each other in the family room, and then they'd see each other down the tunnel, and they'd give each other hugs like they're long lost friends. And you know, like, wait a second, you just saw each other 30 seconds ago. So explaining to 2 6-year-olds why they're not going to see, you know, their buddies the rest of the baseball season, that kind of hits home a little bit different. But again, that's part of the business, and you learn to embrace it all.
The deadline's at 6, but reports trickle in for the 20 minutes after that, because 6 o'clock hit and the Orioles hadn't picked up some pieces I thought they needed to pick up. And then by 6:15, I think 2 or 3 more trades had been reported.
Trevor Rogers, the left-hander from the Miami Marlins, is headed to the Baltimore Orioles, who have had 3 starters go down with Tommy John surgery this year. Go out and get Rogers, a guy who's under team control until 2026.
Orioles are finalizing a deal to acquire the veteran outfielder from the Chicago White Sox. This one's really interesting. Austin Slater, outfielder who hits lefties very well, and Livan Soto, acquired for the Reds.
When you go through a trade deadline, it's almost the front office speaking to you indirectly and showing you what kind of faith they have in the team. When you see what Mike and his team did at the deadline, just that vote of confidence for what we have in this clubhouse to go get those reinforcements and to say, here it is, boys, we're making a push.
What Mike Elias did was something extremely bold. Time will tell if it works out, short-term and long-term, because some of those moves are made beyond this season and for beyond this season. But when you turn over a quarter of your roster to try and win this season, and you do it with your team in first place, that is extremely bold.
I think what this deadline's going to be remembered for is stars, the superstars, didn't get traded. Who did best sprucing and pruning on the edges? It's an interesting moment because you can't trade for what isn't here. And stars like Vlad Guerrero didn't get traded. Skubal didn't get traded. Crochet didn't get traded. Snell didn't get traded. Even Yandy Diaz didn't get traded.
I like what the Baltimore Orioles did. I didn't expect Eloy Jiménez to jump into the picture.
Yeah, it's interesting that you see a team that's good go, we're not finished. We're not complete. We have to make a move.
The Orioles evaluate talent very well, but knowing what you know, that under 4%, do you feel like they played it too safe, or do you like what they did?
You know, I'm mixed. You know, this group certainly has deserved the benefit of the doubt, and let me give you a little bit of background to it. It's really hard as a front office to make a transition between build, play for the future, automatically switch and say, go for it. Because when you go through rebuilds,
I am telling you, there's nothing harder in the game. It taxes you emotionally, physically, mentally. It takes you down to your core. So you never want to stink again.
We felt the need, given the leverage, to add players to the team. However, the cost of doing that is you're somewhat sacrificing potentially the quality of your team in the future. So, you know, we acquire players with the intent for them to complement each other, so the sum is greater than the individual parts. I think someone like an Eflin, hopefully he's starting playoff games, and if that happens, the benefit's going to be obvious. For other players who were kind of acquired for more complementary roles or low leverage roles, at least right now, that could grow down the road, there's a lot of value, we think, in raising the floor of the team and really just improving the chances that Corbin Burns or Gunnar Henderson or Santander is going to be performing in high impact moments in the playoffs and hopefully multiple rounds of the playoffs. So really improving the floor, we think, adds a lot of value, not just kind of the heavy hitters and Zach Eflin.
So Eloy Jiménez now makes it 13 for 31 as a Baltimore Oriole.
I was surprised, you know, but I was at the same time happy, especially because I know the manager, like great group of talent and like good team, good coaches. Everything's good so far, so I like it.
The pitch, swinging a line drive into left field. That's down for a base hit. It's the first hit as a bird for Eloy Jiménez. He gets Baltimore on the board with an RBI base hit.
This is a new start, you know. I just need a fresh start, and now I'm here, and I know it's gonna be better. I just try to do my best every time that I'm out there. Try to help the team in the way that I can.
And now Zach Eflin in an Orioles uniform for the first time. Quite a few guys come up to me and said, I'm happy I don't have to face him anymore. His sinker has been devastating to Oriole hitters in the past.
I was kind of shocked, bittersweet. I didn't know it was going to be the same division, which is really cool because I still get to see a bunch of the Rays guys that I'm really close with. And watching this team from afar for the past year and a half being in the same division, you know, it truly is so exciting to be here because it's hard not to root for these guys. They're so young, they play hard, and they're all just rooting for each other, trying to win baseball games. So they're all competitive, which is exactly what I'm all about.
He pitches.
Sinker, ran it back, strike 3. Now the first out he's got in O's uniform is a strikeout.
That is Zach Eflin at his best.
I hope just a compliment to what everybody else does right. I'm going to be competitive and try my best every single outing and see that where that takes us. But it's one of those molds of a team where you just come in and be competitive and be a good person, and good things are going to happen. So I feel like that's kind of a collective mindset on the team.
Oh, no! Up and in, he got McCann in the helmet. And I'm not sure it got him in the helmet. I think that may have hit James in the face. He is bleeding. He is being looked at by Brian Ebel. There is blood dripping from the face of James McCann. Oh, what a frightening moment. You have to be tough as a catcher. James is extra tough. Terrific competitor, terrific teammate, beloved by his teammates.
And a leader, too.
Yes.
He's a leader in that clubhouse.
Oh. He can't possibly stay in the game, right?
If anybody could, it would be James McCann, because that's how tough he is.
He's trying to set an example for the rest of this team. That's exactly what he's doing. Well, here he comes. Listen to this ovation now.
And even my first game with the team, in the first inning, he got smoked in the face in a doubleheader, and didn't come out of the game, which is incredible. He had multiple fractures, and just the thought of the pressure out, putting his catching mask on his face and continuing to catch, and I mean, it's moving, it's inspiring. So it's easy to pitch to a leader like that.
I think at first it's more scary than anything. I guess like taking a pretty good punch, pretty good right hook, I guess. Now it's just the swelling that's kind of set in and hard to see a little bit. But I take a lot of pride in being tough and doing everything I can to stay on the field. That's what I was able to do today.
A special day, something that everybody in this room aspires to be, and it's a 10-year major league player. That's the ultimate. That's the prize of being a big league player, is to get to 10-year service time. And James McCann, today is his 10-year service time day. So let's give him a round of applause. An incredible achievement. 10 years service time, many, many more.
It's really hard to believe that it's been 10 years, but it means a lot. It's the ultimate goal to reach that 10-year mark. The memories that I have, the relationships that I've built, the people that have come and gone, and it's memories that I couldn't have dreamt up in a million years. So I feel very blessed and thankful, and at the same time, I know how hard I've worked to make it happen, so there's a sense of pride about it too. The biggest thing I've learned is probably that no matter how many times you get knocked down, you can always get back up. Throughout my career, I've had a lot of success, I've had a lot of failure, and just trusting the plan and trusting that God has me exactly where He wants me, and knowing that it's never as good as it seems, but it's also never as bad as it seems. And no matter what happens, you can always come out and overcome any obstacle that's placed in your way.
It was a crazy day yesterday. It's been a wild week. The Orioles acquired 8 40-man roster players before the trade deadline, and yet the biggest acquisition today is a name that came from within. That's Jackson Holliday. He's back.
It was kind of a whirlwind. A lot going on for however many days, about 10 days what it felt like, but it was a good experience. I mean, obviously I failed a lot, but I think it made me a better player, and I kind of understand what it takes and to have a little bit more of an advantage the second time.
All right, now chance if you're Jackson Holliday. He's gone 0 for 2 in his first game back with the Orioles, and now here's a big chance.
I had a few bats the first time around, and with pretty similar circumstances, and kind of just got beat, and I was overswinging, so I was just trying to be relaxed and just try to put a good at bat together for the team, and I got a pitch that I could hit, and I hit it about as well as I could.
And that's a fly ball, deep right field, and it is long gone! The first Major League homer for Jackson Holliday. It's a grand slam!
Ladies and gentlemen, Jackson is here!
It was a pretty surreal moment to have your first homer on Utah Street, and grand slam, and just the the whole moment of what happened the first time I was up here, and to get it all out in one swing and kind of the first game back, it was just kind of helped me settle down and settle in.
Hey guys, how's it going?
I'm Jackson.
Jackson, congratulations, sir.
Nice
That was a great hit, man.
buddy.
Oh, thank you.
I got you something.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I hope you like it.
Welcome back, Jackson Holliday. How much pressure was put on this guy, and then he comes up early in the year, he gets off to the slow start, he goes back down. He had a monster spring. There was a ton of pressure on him, the #1 prospect in baseball. His dad had a monster career. He's rushed to the big leagues, right? Maybe some people don't think he's rushed, but to walk in there at 20 amongst grown men is not easy to do. He gets off to a slow start, they send him back down, and he's able to right the ship.
That one is driven well out to right field by Jackson Holliday, and it is out of here. Jackson Holliday's first home run on the road.
Jackson Holliday trying to change that, puts a charge into one, and Jackson Holliday gets the Orioles' first hit, and it's a home run. Absolutely walloped a Chris Bassett cutter.
0-2. Holliday rips a ball, heading back to right, heading for the upper deck. See ya later. The kid can't be stopped. Jackson Holliday blasts the Orioles back into the lead again. My goodness, is he a different guy his second time around.
Well, that is 3 straight games, Mel, with a home run, and he is the youngest player in AL history to homer in 3 consecutive games.
I have to keep reminding myself, this kid is 20. His poise, his at-bat quality is so good. He's going to walk more. He's going to get on base more. But the power, the hand speed, the bat speed, I mean, this is just unnatural, uncommon. I think he has the feel of somebody who's going to rise to the moment. I think he has that poise even for a 20-year-old.
It's come up the second time, and kind of have my feet already a little bit wet, and just kind of have the experience of playing and the routine of the day, and just being able to come up here and relax and just be present and enjoy playing in big league stadiums, and it's been a whole lot easier this time. Even when I do seem to have some failure, it's been a lot faster of a bounce back, and just kind of understanding that that's part of it, and to just take it one at bat at a time.
If you guys want to go out on the sidelines, Coach said he's more than happy to if you guys want to come out. When we get into the 7-7, 11 on 11, the teams will be kind of behind the huddle. If you guys want to come out, interact, call some plays, whatever you want. But you guys are free reign, so whatever you want to do.
Good. It's going great. It's been going great. Good. Yeah, just great. It's a grind now. Training camp grind going on.
Yeah, it's great, Kimbrough.
John Harbaugh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Cedric.
Cedric, great to meet you. Big fan. Gunner, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How you doing, man? Ben Carter.
Ben, great to meet you. Appreciate you guys being here.
Marlon.
Nice
to meet you. How you doing, bro? You good? Good to see you. Yeah. What's up, bro? You good? Good to see you. Yep.
So what do you think is tougher sport, baseball or football? Is it harder to be a baseball pro or a football pro? I don't think I've ever swung a bat.
Some big old boys.
So each one of them are numbered, chipping it to make sure that there's no, and each one of them, it does have to be signed off by the official. So if you say, oh, it's 359, but you go out there and there's no certain, then it's like, it's out. I have so much respect for Brandon. I think he's a great coach, great skipper, and what a job they've done. The team's so exciting. Having those guys, they're right there behind them. You got them right up there behind, with the players. They were 15 yards away from the play, and I think they were really enjoying it, Just like our guys would like to be right there on the dugout rail if you could be, So it's pretty cool having those guys here.
News coming in earlier today, guys. The injury bug avoided Baltimore for 3 years, and it has come for its vengeance. Zach Eflin, the most recent consistent starter for the Orioles, minimum of 15-day with shoulder fatigue. That is the 5th starter to go down for the O's this year. They recall Cade Povich. Bill, how concerned are you when you lost?
I'm fairly concerned, simply because when
Zach came over and started throwing the ball as well as he did, you go, okay, this is a settling feature into this rotation. It was going to allow other people to relax. You know, you got the number one. You got Burns doing his thing. You got Zach coming in now. He's throwing the ball. He's your number two. That lets everybody settle in. Now all of a sudden somebody's going to have to jump the ship back up this way. And is that going to be too much to add on anybody else?
Well, you go through the litany of injuries, and you lost a huge chunky rotation earlier in the year all at once, and somehow the Orioles played the toughest part of their schedule and survived that. Eventually did catch up with them, but then you think you're on the right track, and to me, Jordan Westburg was a gut punch to this team, and I think you saw it those first few days in Cleveland. I mean, that was a gut punch. Not only is he an all-star, he's versatile, and he does so much to help your team. He's a catalyst. He's a rock for this Orioles team.
Had you told me before the year, I'd be sitting here talking about a team without Kyle Bradish, John Means, or Tyler Wells for the year, without Grayson Rodriguez and Jacob Webb for significant periods of time, without Danny Coulombe for multiple months, without Jordan Westburg for potentially the last couple of months. That is a team of all-stars on the injury list. So I'm amazed the Orioles are in this place. And it is a testament to the depth. A normal team gets punched in the face like this with all these injuries and just gets knocked down. And this team just somehow keeps dusting itself off.
This year's been tough, and I think our guys have done a good job. It's we're pretty young still too, and so kind of grinding, understanding how to kind of grind through it. And we're still right there as of today. We're half game out, and we have a lot of baseball left that we can do some good things. So the way we played the first 2 months for me is the team that we are, and that's going to take a little bit better effort on the mound. Our defense needs to continue to improve. We're playing better right now, but we didn't play for very good defense for a while. So it's going to be about pitching and defense really down the stretch, and hopefully we can do those things.
And first pitch back to Abreu now. What do we have here? He'll go to third. Oh! Kowser's in there. We got a situation in Baltimore, and we got Anthony Santander trying to explode this situation.
2-1, nobody out. Abreu sets, he deals. And that's a drive, deep right field. Going back there, explode everybody. Grand slam! Orioles lead 6-5. Tony Taters gives the Orioles fans just what they were looking for. Home run number 38.
Now this is the Oriole team from last year. So many times we thought, okay, they're out of it. There's no way. It's not going to happen. One of the best pitching staffs in baseball. And Santander in one swing has given the Orioles a one-run lead.
Anthony Santander, who has carried this team, who has lifted them single-handedly at times this season, having the year of his life. I mean, we've been feeling it for a while around here now. Somebody needed to do something like this. Somebody needed to shift the vibe. Somebody needed to shake this team loose.
This is the defining moment of the 2024 Orioles, that we'll look back and we'll say this team somehow, some way kept it together in spite of all those injuries and a lot of adversity, and they found a way to persevere. And now, as we head towards the back end of this season, we'll find out what this team's all about.
This past month has definitely had its downs, but I think being in the position that we are in with the baseball that we have played as of late, I think that it is a testament to just how good this team actually is. And I'm excited to see how this next month and a half goes. The most important thing is to just kind of take a day at a time. Finish the season strong here. Whatever position we're in going into the postseason, we're in it. And I think just staying close as a tight-knit group is going to be important, and playing that unselfish type of baseball.
A slow tapper to first base. Singleton waits for a hop. It's a close play at the bag. Safe is the call. Singleton took his time. Kowser with a headlong slide beats it, and that's a pure infield hit, and the bases are loaded. The pitch, Jackson to the gap in right center field. That's down for a base hit. Henderson scores. Eloy Jiménez will score. They're waving counter. He will score. It's a bases clearing double for Jackson Holliday. And the Orioles seize the lead in the sixth.
Another dramatic comeback win. The O's take 2 straight, and it's starting to feel like the good vibes are back in Baltimore.
If you listen to the outside noise, you'd think that at times we're in last place in our division. Yeah, we've had tough times, but that's part of the season. That's part of 162 games, and we understand that it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. We also understand that you don't want to peak in July and August. You want to peak in September going into October. So really kind of playing that same level all the way through the season, trusting the process and knowing that at the end of the day the results are going to be there. We know how good we are, and we just want to keep building until you get to the most important games, and that's in October.
This has been a really hard year in the league. Nobody is playing overwhelming baseball. A lot of teams are dealing with injuries and struggling a bit. And there's a world where we hit the end of September and Grayson Rodriguez is back and Jacob Webb is back and Jordan Westburg is back, and all of a sudden the Orioles get some high-powered players back. But my gosh, they are just doing everything they can to scrap and claw till then. And
you want to believe if you find your way to the end of this path that you're going to be the tougher team and better team when October baseball rolls around. Now, through it all, the Orioles are in the thick of it, and there's no one running away with it. There's a ton of parity in the game, which is great, and it's interesting, and there's no question in my mind that this is going to be a nail-biter to the bitter end this season, and it's going to come down, more than likely, to a few moments in late September.